àwọn ará abí ti tòṣèlú bọ̀ọ̀nù nígbà àtàkùté wọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta òde ó rí wọn lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára táwọn ti ròyìn òfegè ní ibi láti sọ̀jọba gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ní súná bú ni.
bàbá kí là á wàá ṣe ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pọ́nrọ̀ sọkúsọ bíi náà nú ẹ̀rùn ni.
ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tẹ́ ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ dénú náà ní kẹ́ ẹ sọ fún gbogbo òlù pé orí ìpinnu àṣà ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé gbẹ́yẹlé níjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ dúró lé.
ó ti yé mi bàbá mo sì ń lọ rèé fọ rere rẹ̀ náà nù. iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà òun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
This is Alore Radio, transmitting from GSM Studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. This is the world news. I am Adedoyin Adebayo. First, the highlights. Makinde has paid over 14 billion naira on gratuities to 5,000 beneficiaries, says Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism. Oyo commends Brazil for adopting Yoruba as an official language. Also, Lautech, Makinde releases 500 million naira for Iseyin campus takeoff. Oyo institution becomes first Nigerian polytechnic to get Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology induction. In other news, NSAS reports areas that affect federal government will be addressed, says Adeshino. Finally, Belarus says it does not want confrontation, wants EU to take migrants. Now the news in full. Makinde has paid over 14 billion naira on gratuities to 5,000 beneficiaries, says Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism. The Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Dr. Wasiu Olatunbosun, has revealed that the present administration in Oyo State has paid over 14 billion naira on gratuities, while about 5,000 beneficiaries have benefited from the exercise. He made the statement after receiving an award of excellence tagged Defender of Pensioners at a gala night and award giving ceremony organized by Nigeria Union of Pensioners. The commissioner, while explaining that the Oyo State government under Makinde's leadership has placed premium priority on the public service, including pensioners, further commended him for the priority given to the welfare of the pensioners in Oyo State. Olatunbosun, who dedicated the award to Governor Seyi Makinde, who he described as the people's governor, further dedicated the award to all the downtrodden pensioners that suffered throughout the 8 years of past administration. Oyo commends Brazil for adopting Yoruba as an official language. The Oyo State government has commended Brazil for adopting Yoruba as one of its official languages, following news that the Brazilian National Assembly had in the past month reportedly passed it into law that Yoruba language be adopted as a national language. The Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Dr. Wasiu Olatunbosun, while speaking in Ibadan during the 2021 Safety Awareness Program organized by National Museum of Unity, also stated that Yoruba culture and Yoruba history has an undeniably strong presence in the Brazilian society. He added that this may be due to the He added that this may be due to the slave trade which brought millions of enslaved West Africans to the country, adding that despite the inhumanity they faced, many managed to keep their ancestral culture and traditions alive. Olatunbosun further explained that while many Afro-Brazilians are happy to see the government taking steps to preserve the country's rich African roots, the Oyo State government also urges the country to improve on racism and poor treatment of its black population. He, however, enjoined Nigerian parents to continue in teaching their children Yoruba language and ensure they imbibe the cultural values. Lautech, Makinde releases 500 million naira for Iseyin campus takeoff. Governor of Oyo State Seyi Makinde has released the sum of 500 million naira as a grant for the takeoff of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech Ogbomoso, Iseyin campus. Chairman Governing Council of the institution, Professor Deji Omole, who made this disclosure in a statement made available to newsmen, maintained that the money has been released by Makinde as a grant for the smooth takeoff of the College of Agricultural Sciences and Renewable Natural Resources in Iseyin campus. He further revealed that Makinde has concluded plans to pay Osun State government another 1 billion naira on or before the first week of December, adding that Makinde has also paid 5 out of 8 months of salaries owed to workers of the institution. Recall that the institution was formerly owned by both Oyo and Osun states, and the Oyo state became the sole owner of the institution on 20th November 2020. Oyo Institution becomes first Nigerian polytechnic to get NIFST induction. The Oke-Ogun Polytechnic Shaki has become the first polytechnic in Nigeria whose higher national diploma graduates would be inducted into the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology (NIFST). A former secretary of the institute and executive chairman of Oyo State Road Transport Management Authority, Dr. Akin Fagbemi, revealed this during an induction ceremony of graduating students of the institution into the professional membership cadre of NIFST. Dr. Fagbemi, who advised the graduates to put into use academic knowledge acquired in the institution in the past 5 years, also charged them to contribute meaningfully to their personal and national economic development. He further commended Governor Makinde, who he noted has positioned Oyo State as the first state in Nigeria whose polytechnic students have been inducted into the professional membership cadre of the institute. In other news, NSAS reports areas that affect federal government will be addressed, says Adesina. Presidential aide Femi Adesina says that the federal government will only address areas within the white paper report of the Lagos Judicial Panel on police brutality that concerns it, as the date for the official submission draws near. Adesina, during an interview with Newsmen today, stated this while explaining steps which the federal government will take in handling the situation. He explained that when the reports come out, the ones that are federal in nature will be considered, while situations that are state in nature would be handled by the state government. The presidential spokesperson, however, said he is not aware if some states that have completed their inquiry have so far submitted their report to the federal government. Finally, Belarus says it does not want confrontation, wants EU to take migrants. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko says Belarus seeks no confrontation with Poland, but wants the European Union to take in 2,000 of the migrants stranded on its border, attending that if the crisis deteriorated too far, war is unavoidable. Recall that the European Union has accused Belarus of flying in thousands of people from the Middle East and pushing them to cross into the EU via Poland, Lithuania and Latvia in retaliation for EU sanctions imposed on Minsk over Lukashenko's crushing of protests against his disputed re-election last year. Although Lukashenko denies fomenting the migrant crisis, but EU countries, including Germany, has again rejected his call on them to accept migrants in midpoint at the border. Lukashenko, however, disclosed that he does not want things to escalate, and he understands that if they go too far, war is unavoidable. Here are the highlights once more. Makinde has paid over 14 billion naira on gratuities to 5,000 beneficiaries, says Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism. Oyo commends Brazil for adopting Yoruba as an official language. Also, LAUTECH, Makinde releases 500 million naira for Iseyin campus takeoff. Oyo Institution becomes first Nigerian polytechnic to get Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology induction. In other news, NSAS reports areas that affect federal government will be addressed, says Adesina. Finally, Belarus says it does not want confrontation, wants EU to take migrants. That ends the world news. Like and share on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Alore Radio, at YouTube at Alore Radio, with mobile apps available on the Play Store. I am Adedoyin Adebayo. Thanks for listening.
ọgbà tí àṣejìná lòdì ìrànjẹ làwọn aláṣejòkòtì tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ ọba ni wọ́n ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògeere LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó pójú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì ìdákẹ́jádò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán kọ́ àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọ rírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ. Gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ ọgbẹ.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà òun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.